as I was saying, I was working on that Windy Santa, and I really didn't think it was turning out at all what I thought it was going to turn out to be, and I just kept going with it, and that's what I ended up with. So don't quit. When a piece doesn't work for you, you know, just continue on and see what happens. That's your chance to do some experimentation on your pieces. If you're going to throw it out anyway, you may as well try the deep cuts and try to change the nose or the eyes or whatever on that piece if you really screw it up. But for the most part, when you do something like that, a lot of times it will work out just fine. So enough said about that. So just keep at it pretty well. You know, that's the idea. Just keep at it. So I'm redefining these lines again. And when you definitely make it deeper, it does add an awful lot to your piece. Alright. Now even here, I'm going to redefine that a little bit more, especially right where this is. Okay, right there and right there, we're going to cut right up in there. Alright, really define that. Okay, see? Now here and here in that corner, we're going to just chop that out because that's part of the rounded. Alright, that looks pretty good. Again, we're going to take all the rough spots off. We need to put the bottom part of his coat on. We don't have to worry about anything about, you know, the front of his jacket, because between his beard and the package it's hidden. So that's alright. The eye, well, and the nose. One of the things with the nose is I like to have a little bit of a curvature on that nose. And again, you want to take off all the rough spots everywhere. Alright. Been nice to be back doing this again. I do enjoy it. Alright, now I'm going to sweep this beard out a little bit more yet and try to get everything cleaned up. I think I'm going to do a lot of the cleanup now at this point offline, because it's just kind of redundant to keep showing you what I'm cleaning up. But this is the important part. See, I went a little deeper there, and then you got it wherever this square portion is, you want to just kind of go in and chop that out. Alright, just like so. Alright, very good. Now the other thing we do before I start cleaning stuff up, you know, and get things looking as much similar as they can to each other, one thing we're going to do is put the trim on, well, actually what his hands are here. So about part of the way up, I usually go about, or whatever you think is enough for a glove, and I do the bottom portion first. And I use the V-tool for this because the lines stay nice, and you can do it with a knife. There's no right or wrong way of doing it, really. And then go up a little ways and do another little parallel line to it. Alright. Alright, so that's his mitten and his trim of his coat. And you kind of want to try to keep it the same. So it's a good idea to get a pen and measure kind of how far it is. See if you can get it roughly the same. Looks about the same. a little thicker. Let's bring this down a little bit more. There we go. Alright. Now a lot of times what I do with that is I take my knife and I trim the mitten upward and from the jacket down so it stands out a little bit more. And again, I go back and I redefine it with a line that I actually put with a knife. And, you know, just kind of redefine everything. I always find that the knife, I like the, you know, some people say, well, they just like the parting tool look to it. I don't know, I like adding the knife to it. There are times when the parting tool is good on its own. You know, every carver does it a little bit different. I was more used to just doing everything with a knife and not using a parting tool, but when I saw the results of putting all these little lines in and stuff, it's impossible. Not that it's impossible to do with a knife. You certainly can. It's going to take you a heck of a lot longer to do it. So alright, so that's our little deal here, and I'll try to explain to you how to do this little piece here. What I normally do is I just make a little line, a little curvature line like so, and one going down like so. Yeah, so it looks like there's two there. The one's overlapping the other. And I take my knife and I go up here and let's see if I can do this nice and close so you can see. So I have one line that's really a circular motion. So we'll take that down first. Put a stop cut. And what you want to do is just follow that up a little bit and separate that. Alright, here in the corner we're going to do the same thing. We're going to put a little V cut there because that's the bow portion and that's supposed to be like tucked underneath there. So right there is where we're going to put a little hole, and like the inside of the ribbon. I'll show you that in just a second here. Let me find my hefty little tools and which one would be good for that. I think this one would be very good for that. So what you want to do is in the center, you just want to take it and bring it down to the box. Just like so. Take your knife and go in here. Whoops, I'm sorry. Let me show this again. I don't think I had it in the camera. What you want to do is take your tool and push it down, okay, towards the box. Alright? And then take your straight knife and go underneath and cut it out. And that should give you your ribbon look to it, okay? Now I know that's going to be painted silver. I have silver and green. So over here we're going to do the same thing, but we need to make this look like a little bit of a curvature. So let's go up here and just cut this out. Go up underneath here and this way and see if we can pop that out. There we go. Alright, so that's the back side of that, okay? So we're going to make the hole over here, right from here down, okay? We don't want it all the way up to here. We want it in the middle. Down, in, and then down. There we go. I'm sorry again, I didn't do that. So we don't want it up, we don't want to make the hole right next to the glove. We want to go away from it a little bit. So what I did was I went in, straight in, and then tilted it up to go down. See if I can share that again. There we go. So I went in like this, okay, pushed it in, and then brought it up and down. Alright, and then we'll take our straight knife to the top of the box here, and we're going to just pop that out. Let me just make sure I got that right here. Okay. So that's not real prominent on the one side, so I took a little bit smaller one